This week on This Night Garage, the old Doodie Brown Doodie is back. Yep. Got a whole lot more to do to it before we can actually get it roadworthy and haul stuff in the back of it. Can't do none of it talking to y'all though, so let's just get busy. Let us not dilly-dally. Let's go on over here to the board. I added a few things to it that we got to do. One of them is plug wires. I don't have them yet. Hopefully they'll be here tomorrow. Then we got to fix that sway bar. You know, we found that was tore up last week. The gooseneck hitch. I'm planning on, hooking my trailer to this. And y'all have seen the bed. There's the gooseneck. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's just welded to the bed floor, and that ain't gonna work. When I was up under it, I didn't see anything that had it attached to the frame. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something with that. Also, this silver apparatus, it's some kind of a gooseneck, fifth wheel hitch. Well, it's gonna be gone. We don't want that garbage, no sir. Anyway, I think the first thing we're gonna do though is we're going to come in here and get this steering wheel put back together. Here's the, what's this called? The turn signal thingamabob. Told you I had one. Well, I found it. There it is. We got to get this old one out first, and then we'll go to putting this together. I got me a celly phone. It's right over yonder. It's doing the videoing now. That old, or not old, but the camera I was using for the last year or two, I never really liked it. The audio was terrible. And when you wanted to get a shot of something up close, it's an action camera. Action camera's not meant for up close. So anyway, I got me a new Samsung S25 Ultra. We're gonna try it out for today. If I like the audio and the video, then that's probably what we're gonna use from now on. Right now though, I gotta get this wire. It connects down here. I gotta get it out some kind of way, and I don't know. We got air conditioning ducting in the way, and this is not gonna be fun. Tell you what, let me pull this little panel out and see about getting this air conditioning ducting out of the way. And then I'll be back. We'll see if we can get that unhooked. There's a switch right here. Don't know what it's wired to, but I'm gonna see if we can find out. It's not factory. Alright, there's a switch. We'll have to figure out what that's wired to. But for now, let's put our screws right here so we don't lose them. I don't want to tear this ductwork up. It just fell out. Come on, man. There we go. It's out of the way, sir. It's supposed to be screwed together. There's a bracket. It's got a thingamabob right here, like a guard. Oh, here's the end of it here. I thought it was way down yonder. Anyways, let me get this little feller here took loose. What is that, about a 9/16? If the audio's not very good with that, being this far away, I can rig it up where I can use my mic. I used to for instances like that, but for the most part, I'm gonna try not to use that mic because I never really liked it. I bet you I have to take this whole dadblame thing loose. I don't think that's gonna slide up in there. Will it go up in there, or will I have to take the steering column loose? Let's take these other two bolts out before we unbolt the whole thing from the dash. Ooh, and see what that does. The only thing I don't like about using that is it picks up a lot of ambient noise. Y'all will be able to hear the bluegrass, which I'm okay with that, except, I might get a strike against me. Copyright infringement. So I have to keep it turned way down. Anyway, let's get this little fella out of here. That seemed to have worked. Sorta. It's starting to come out anyways. There it goes, it's coming out. Look at here, fellas. Oh yeah. Let's plug this feller in and see if the blinky blinks are gonna work or not. Just, you know, to make sure. Turn the ignition on. This is what does it. It's on this side of the column. And you stick her down in there and, oh, I tried to start it right then. Now, do we have blinkers? Let me turn this one way. No. We have blinkers the other way. We got blinkers on the left side. Huh. Let me make sure the bulbs are flashing. They are in the rear. They are in the front. I wonder why the passenger side ain't working. Let's try it again. The light is lit continuous. Does that mean we got a bulb burnt? Let me see if the lights are burning on the passenger side. The fender light is lit up. Rear and front are not burning, so I don't know what's going on there. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. I believe that's a bulb, and that's what it does when a bulb is burnt out, but all the lights light up. Let's do the emergency flashers. Oh yeah, make sure all four corners are blinking. Oh yeah. We got something going on with the passenger side, but I don't think it's this. Well, I turned the flashers off and then hit the blinkers to the passenger side. Well, they seem to work now. I don't know. Just one of life's mysteries. What we got to do now before we can put all that back together, change the bearings out in this piece here. This is, well, this goes in here like so. This is why it was loose, because there's a spring and this little bitty clip that hooks on approximately in this area. Well, they were gone. Well, the spring was there, but the clip wasn't. That's what holds all this tight, and that's why the steering wheel was so loose, because that was not there. Anyway, these bearings go in here. This one I'm pretty sure goes up top. This one goes on the bottom. Let's knock the old races out, put the new ones in, then we can put this together. This came in a little kit. Here it is right here. You get two bearings. That is the little doodad that hooks to this. This is what hits your starter button when you turn the key. That's a spring for it. I don't know what that is. Hazard? No. It may, I don't know. Goes to something. That's all I can tell you. Anyway, let's change these bearings out. Let's see. Ow, I just pinched my finger. No, it's coming. Let me work on it a little bit back and forth. Top one out now. Where is it at? Approximately like that. Bartels. There's the old ones. Well, I got a socket that fits, sort of. It's got a little plastic thing right there that I'm afraid I'm going to crush, but we're going to try it, see what it does. Hopefully it don't crush it. I think I just heard a ball. Yep, it's laying on the floor. Ball just fell out. Is it down all the way? I think so. I got two balls that fell out. This is a plastic cage, so I'm hoping we can just pop them right back in. Oh yeah, that went in. Let me clean the dirt off of it a little bit. Oh yeah, it went in. She still spins. I think it's seated. So let's do the top one now. Will this fit in here and do the job? Well, I'm going cockeyed. Let me hit it on this side over here. Yep, and I knocked a ball or two out, or three or four. Well, that's good. That's real good. Yep. Well, if they'll stay in there long enough to get that shaft in there, then that's all that matters. It'll hold it in. Let me get this fixed. I'll be back and we'll go over and put that in. I don't know where that other ball went to. Well, there's the deal, fellas. This turn signal switch will not work because in this area, I think right in here, Let me get the old one and I'll show you. They're a wee bit different. See, this one's got this cutout right here, and this one does not. Well, it hits inside of here, so it ain't gonna work. I just ordered one from O'Reilly's, be here in the morning. So, let's raise it up, pull this gas tank out. Hopefully this one will fit right in. We'll run us some new fuel lines, and that'll be that. I got something special in the mail a few weeks ago. If you will recall, Hyperlite sponsored all the lights in the shop here, inside and out. Well, they sent us a neon sign. I think it's pretty sharp. Let me get it open, show y'all. I think you're gonna like it. Oh yeah. The feller's wrapped up pretty good. Oh, there's lots of pieces and parts. I didn't know we were getting that. They contacted me, well, it's been a long time ago, wanting to do a channel logo. I was like, I don't know, because I'm not very creative when it comes to stuff like that. So it sort of fell by the wayside, and then here a couple months ago contacted me again with a sample of old Dude as the background of a neon sign. I was like, I really like that a lot. So as soon as I get this unwrapped, I will show you what we settled on. All right, y'all ready? Look at there. I know it don't look like much right now. Wait till she gets lit up. You're gonna like it. Yep. Let me figure out where I'm gonna hang it first. We'll get her hung and plugged up and we'll try it out. Well, I've chosen this spot right here. I think probably just right over our little board here. I got a piece of wood. I'm just gonna drive a nail in these two top places. So approximately right there will be the first one. Let me set this little feller down. Now I got a mark for the other one. Let's get it hung on this first nail firstly, about like that right there. I'm gonna have a marker. Y'all tell me when I'm about level. That looks pretty good, don't it? Right there. Did I line her up good enough? Oh yeah, look at there, fellas. Pretty awesome. Now let me get all the electronical stuff out and figure out how we gotta hook it up. Here's what it comes with. LED dimmer. I think this end plugs into the light. Then your power cord, this end here, plugs into there. You got a remote. According to this remote, well, we got speed and we got percentage, time. I'm not sure what all this does. We'll check it out in a minute. Let me get this hooked up. Plug it in, plug it in. This little box plugs in there. Power cord goes on the other side. I'll have to route these wires somewhere. But for now, let's just fire it up, see what it does. Plug it in, plug it in. All right, let me get the remote. The RTS, fellas, that's pretty sharp. Even got the flames on him on the side there. Pretty neat, yep. Here's the remote. Let's go through some of the stuff, see what it does. What happens if you hit the light? Nothing. What about this up and down? All right, that dims it. Let's go back up bright. It's got speed. That's doing nothing, but it's got mode. Speed might have something to do with mode. Let's go mode right here. Oh, she blinks. All right, let's see a speed. Speed slows it down, speeds it up. Okay. We'll speed her back up. Let's go through the mode Again, what happens? Ooh, it goes really fast. Hit it again. Changes it again. Now that one there's pretty neat. That sort of looks like the sign is going out, going bad. All right, it flashes and then quits, flashes and quits. All right, that's pretty much all the mode. How do you get out of this? What if we hit light? Yep, hit light in the middle, resets everything. Now you got percentages down here. What is let's hit 10%. Okay, that dims it. Here's 50%. Here's 100%. It's got time down here. What does it say? 5, 10, 30, and 60. I'm assuming it'll cut off. You know, if I hit 5, it'll probably cut off after 5 minutes. I'm assuming. But anyway, that's pretty sharp right there. I like that a lot. Here's you a shot of it in the dark too. Little fella's pretty doggone bright. Sure is. Yes, sir. That sign right there is pretty sharp. I like that a lot. I'll put a link to Hyperlite right here. There'll be one in the description also. I might link to this specific sign right here in case you want one of them. I'm not sure if we'll get a discount code. If we do, I'll put that up here or in the description, so go check that out. Hyperlite's been a very good sponsor of the channel. All the lights you see in here have been sponsored by them. Hyperlite, y'all are awesome. Y'all go check them out. All right, I got my fill neck undone up top. We gotta get this brace out of the way for the, what are these called? Running boards, I think that's what you call them. I don't know. I'm gonna cut these here bolts off because they're about 6 miles too long. Then we gotta unbolt it and then I'm gonna take it loose with these 2 braces and it should just fall right out. All right, let me get some loosening apparatus and get them bolts out. These bolts here are a flathead screw. Why? 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 Who invented a flathead screw? I'd like to kill him. Yep, sure would. Well, that one broke, so that ain't that easy. Vice grips it is. Cool. Broke it off too. There we go. Get out of the way, sir. Now, let me get these 2 gas tank braces loose, and this should come right out. I got all but one on this, and there's an exhaust hanger bracket here, and the exhaust hanger's broke. We need to redo that. And I think it was one back there also that's messed up. Oh yeah. Let's go up here now. Get this front one and she should fall right out. All right, now will it come out? No, sir. Well, here's the deal, fellas. This is a pain. There's a clamp on the lines where you can't get nothing on the nut. And, well, that's as far as I can get it to go. The band that wraps around it, he's got a hole in the frame that the bolt sticks through. So I can get it pried around that. Yeah. Now, if I go any further, I'm going to tear the lines up. So, and you can't get to them. What the devil, Chevrolet? What in the world were you thinking with this? There's the lines. I might get something to cut the hoses, but how in the world will you ever get it back? What in the devil, Chevrolet? Do a little chompy chomp here, maybe you can get them up in there. So, what in the world, man? This is stupid, what this is. Pretty near much. Yep. There's one. too. I guess that's how you get it out now. How you get them hoses hooked back up? Well, guess as good as mine. Let's get this little feller out of here. I gotta get these hoses off, get the sending unit out. Hopefully this ain't rotten, but it might be. Might have to order one. Let's get these off right now though. Wow, that's them old type. I hate these kind. They don't loosen up once you loosen them. Well, I broke that off, so that's good. Here's what we're gonna do, and then we'll get back on that. We're going to get all the crustacean off of these bolts that we can. And we're gonna hit them with some olive oil. Hope that'll help things out. Ooh. There we go. Now will these fellers here come loose? Oh yeah. Get these little fellers out of here. Get right there. Look, it's shiny like a new one. Now let's see if we can get this out. Our ground wire's broke. We'll have to fix that. Well, our gas gauge wire is eat up too, so we'll have to fix that. But let's get this little feller out of there first. I'll tell you what, let's hit him with this. Maybe that'll help us some. Oh yeah, there we go. What's this look like? Well, it don't look good. Our sock, whatever you want to call it, has rotted off. Yep, that's not good. This is this a return style? It's got 3 lines. Yep, I bet. Return, send, and then the charcoal canister. I'll have to order one of these. Let me go see if I can get it in a timely manner. I shall return. It don't look bad down in there though. Not a lot of gunk, it's just a wee bit of rust. We'll save this and probably fix this because they're the same on either side. We'll fix this one or the other one. Yeah. Anyway, let me order a sending unit. I got one ordered to be in the morning with the other part. Let's go ahead and get these hoses off. We're going to reuse them because I don't see nothing wrong with them. We'll go ahead and swap them to the new tank and then get the straps and brackets on the new tank. Ta-da! Get out of the way, old tank! Look at that pretty new tank. This one will go back here. Which hole was it in? The bottom one? Yeah, I think so. Then we'll get this old feller on. I'm going to leave these clamps aimed down. That way if I need to adjust this up or down, I can get to them to loosen them without having to take the tank loose. Alright, that there's ready. We're done with the tank till I get my sending unit though. What can we do next? I don't know. Let's look and see. I think what we'll do next is let's flush the heater core out. I'm not sure if it's busted, if it leaks or not. We'll check that too. If we got water in the floorboard, well then it leaks. If not, we're good. But we'll flush it out both ways. And I think I got enough heater hose to run us some hoses here. We'll have heat on this thing. Oh yeah. Here we go with the heater core flushy flush. Well, There's nothing coming out of the other hose, so that's not good. Nope. Let me flush it the other way and see what happens. Well, I don't know, but apparently it stopped up somewhere. Let me try a different setting on this thing here. This is about half broke. Well, I turned my bucket over. There's water everywhere, so that's good. I want to hit it with some air. Let's see if that don't do anything better. Well, air's blowing through it, so I guess it didn't have enough water pressure, water flow. So let's try that again with the water, I guess. Whatever, man. Whatever. I'm gonna hold this hose up and let it gravity feed through the heater core. See what happens. Come on, man. There we go. We're getting a little bit out of it. All right, let me maybe go the other way and make a mess. Oh, my hose is kinked on this right here, so that's good. I'm making a mess, fellas. I'm going to have to move y'all and move my bucket to keep making a mess. Put that little fella right there. Can you see what I'm doing? Probably not. Now, let me hold this up right here. Shoot some fluids through it. Well, it looks pretty clean, so I think we're going to be okay there. Let me get these hoses off. We'll put some new ones on it. Before we go any further, do we see any fluids in the floorboard? I don't see any, so I think we're good there. Let me get these hoses changed out real quick like. Very cramped quarters in here. I gotta have a ratchet. Can't get a screwdriver on it at all. Let me get these here hosieries off. There's one. Where did my clamp go? Get that little fella on out of here. All right. Let me see if my new hose, if I got enough length. Oh yeah, I think I got plenty of length here. Let's get this lamp situated. Well, with a little Vaselines, I managed to get that hose on, so I think we'll be okay there. Let me tighten it up. Now, where's the 3/4? This little fella in here. Just like that right there. Alright. Alright, I'm fixing to make a mess probably, but I'm going to try to pull this. You know, I got this looped up here. I'm going to try to pull it off and get this one on and hold this one up all at the same time and try not to make a mess and lose a bunch of antifreeze. I don't know that we'll succeed, but that is my plan. My plans very rarely work out though, so there's that. Here we go to make a mess. Well, there's no antifreeze coming out of this, so that's not a good sign, fellas. Are we low on water? Absolutely, we're down a good 6 inches. Yeah. Well, that ain't good. No. Anyway, it helps me out here, but that ain't good. I'm hoping it was just, you know, when we blew a bunch of water out, I just didn't get it filled back up good. Get on there, man. Got that one on. Let me get this hose clamp on. I'll change that other one out. I shall return and we'll work on something else. Actually, we need to make sure that we can get that blower fan working. I don't think it was working. We'll look at that next. Let me get this other hose on. Tell you something else we got to do. Remember the power steering hose from our, whatever this is called, reservoir? I just use heater hose because that's what I had. Well, the fluid is leaking through the hose, so we're going to have to get an actual hydraulic type hose for that. If I think to, I'll get it tomorrow. Anyways, let me get this in the loose and changed out, and I shall return. Hetry hoses are hooked up, and I was looking at the carburetor device, and we got, well, I'll tell you what, let me zoom in because this camera's got a really good zoom. Watch this right here. Look at here. See that one right there in the middle of the screen? It had a thing over it, but it was busted. And then there's one, see it right there in the middle of the screen? Let me zoom on in. Look at there, buddy. I like this camera. Anyway, I got 2 vacuum ports that were, you know, not sealed up. One of them we're going to hook to our vacuum advance on the distributor. The other got to plug it up. That may be why it's got that hesitation, you know, when you're taking off. Hopefully. But anyway, I'll do that here in a little bit. But let's get in here and see if we can't figure out if we can get that blower fan to run. Well, as you can see, I've been a little bit busy. Got the dash tore apart. Looking at my fan switch, and it's not doing anything. So we're going to go outside and pull the plug off of the blower motor. Let's see if we're getting any juices to it. Well, I can't get the plug to unplug. I can check it. What the devil's going on here? We got it's coming out of what looks like a relay too. I'm not familiar with this setup. That may be what the issue is. I guess that's the blower relay, you big dum-dum. Yep, that's what it is. It may be bad, but it'd be nice if I could get that off there. Well, I just ripped that out of the relay. So that's good. That's real good. Let me see if I can get this put back together, and then we'll check her for voltages. Get that leak out of the way. Will this come off of there? I think it will. Let me pull that off of there. Well, I would like to have heat, because we may be doing some traveling. Well, there went the screw. We may be doing some traveling to go get vehicles here within the next month or two. It'd be nice to have a heater. Sure enough. Let me look up the wiring diagram on this one. I know what's the in and out and all that. I'll be back in a little bit. Well, I've done a little investigating. I can't really find a print on that relay, but I did run me a wire from my battery over here to the blower motor. Y'all listen to this. It definitely works, but she's squalling. Yes, sir. So, probably going to pull this motor out. Let me see if this wire right here is going to work. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's pull that blower motor out. You can take them apart, and I'll oil it. You know, clean everything up, and that should be good to go. Let's get that little feller out of there. Let's get this little feller tore apart, see what we got going on. Wait a minute, let's leave that nut on. Let me peck on it with a hammer. Look at there. She come right off. Ta-da! We'll clean the back side of that up because it's pretty doggone nasty. Now, to get this apart, this has been apart before because it's got RT&V on it, sure does. How do you get this little feller apart? You know what, it's riveted here, 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 and here. Let's grind them rivets down. Yep, let me get the grinder. See if we can't drive them out with a punch and a hammer. Here's one. Ow, my finger. All right, let's see if we can get this little feller off of here. There'll be some brushes somewhere. They're up in here. Yep. We'll take that apart in a minute because I want to clean and grease it too. Watch this. All kind of garbagery in it. Let me blow this out, and we're going to put us some grease down in there. Look at the water coming out of that. That's ridiculous. I'm gonna order a dryer water separator tonight because I can't have that. Nope. I don't understand why it does that because I drain it at least once a week. Anyways, I'm gonna dab some greases down in yonder. I really don't want to do this because them brushes can be aggravating, but let's go ahead and take this out. Yeah, that's the part that's froze up because it won't hardly turn. Sure is. Darn, it won't come out. Well, let me clean it up with some sanding paper real quick. Now will it come out? Oh yeah, like a dream. Let's clean her up a little bit more. Now let me look at this. Yeah, the little bushing looks okay. We'll put a little grease on it. Put a little on this here shaft too. Now comes the fun part of getting this back through them brushes. I don't see any way to hold them back either. Well, it took 16 years. I finally got them brushes back in there in front of them springs. Now, get that fella in there. I gotta have a pointy apparatus. Where's my screwdriver? Gotta get one brush, the other brush, this brush again. Now, there we go. Ta-da! Oh yeah, that spins much better. Now, how was this fella on there? This goes in that hole right there. Please don't pull out of the brushes, sir. I get that down in there. And then, I think that was like it, wasn't it? Yep, sure was. Now, before I tack this back together, well, let's just go ahead and tack it together. Well, it'll probably be all right. Swap my clamp to the other ones. And there you have it, fellas. A repaired square body blower motor. Let's get this sealant off of here. Let's hook it up to the bantry. Make sure it ain't squalling no more. I think it should be okay though. Hook this into the ground over here. Somewhere, maybe there. Hook the pyre up. Here we go. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah, she's moving some air, fellas. Ain't squalling no more either. Let me get my vacuum out and clean in this ductwork as far as I can reach. And I'm gonna put this back in. Blowy motor is back in. It's running on low speed, but I got the switch on high, so we still got some electrical issues. I figured out that the resistors are in the, what's this called, evaporator box here. This plug, that's what's going down to all your resistors. This, I'm assuming, just switches them from one resistor to the other. Then, of course, here's your output. It's running on low. We got bad connection. This little feller here, really rusty. Especially these, so we'll have to clean up on them, but not tonight, fellas. My knees are killing me. I got to get in the house. But look at here, though. This is what I pulled out of the heater box. There's my foot. That's how big the Mises condo was. Pretty large, yep. Anyway, let me pull the bantry cable off so we don't burn nothing up. And I think I'm going to go in the house. Tomorrow, hopefully, we can finish up the steering wheel. Work on this some more, get the gas tank back in. What else do we like? Oh, we got to do the brakes. I got my steel fittings in today. They're over there somewhere. So we'll finish the rear brake line, hopefully get that done, I got tires today, picked them up at Walmart. Got to fix the hood. I need to go get some angle iron for that. Plug wires. Hopefully they'll be here tomorrow. Sway bar. That's on down the list. I ain't too worried about that. But we definitely got to fix the gooseneck hitch too. Anyway, we can't mark nothing off. But we got several things started. Like I said, let's get them done tomorrow. I shall see y'all tomorrow. Till the next day. And I've been fooling with this stupid thing right here for a couple hours, trying to get the blower motor to work. Yep, been a nightmare. I've tore up one switch. I got another one tore apart. I'll show you here in a minute. But I want to tell y'all, firstly, edited the video last night. Terrible video. Audio wasn't all that great either. I've done some adjusting. Well, last night's video was whitewashed. Like there was no contrast, not much color. I've been learning the camera and I've got it sort of adjusted a little bit better. And then the audio, this has got a front and rear microphone, and then you got Omni, which turns both of them on. I don't want Omni. Depending on if I'm on this camera or the other camera, I got to have the right mic on. It's going to be a pain, but I do believe it'll be better. Y'all let me know what you think about the color from yesterday to today, and the audio also. I've even fooled with my regular mic that I clip on my hat. May go back to it because if I get more than 3 or 4 feet away from this, I really have to jack the audio up in editing. I don't want to have to do that. So we may go back to my clip-on mic. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Let me turn the camera around though and show you what I've been working on for the last couple hours. First, let me just pan around the shop. You can see the color's warmer. Last night it was cooler and sort of whitewashed. Like there was no color, no contrast. Anyways, I'm fooling with that setting until I get it to where I want it. But let me show you what I'll get it out in a minute. Let me show you what we've been doing for the last couple hours. Here's what's left of the blower fan switch. You know, low, medium 1, medium 2, and high. Well, I tore it apart and all the contacts were nasty. Here's part of it here. I don't know where the other part went. I had it fixed, cleaned up, had it working. Well, when I was putting it back together and trying to bend these little prongs over, well, guess what? I broke it. As you can see, it's in several pieces, so I got to have one of them. Then I've been doing some troubleshooting. I wasn't getting power to this switch. Well, it's got to come through this first. This is your, off, heat, air, vent, defrost, all that. Tore it apart and cleaned it up because it was pretty nasty. This is why I wasn't getting power. And the bottom part of this, see all these little things right here? That's your vacuum control. That's how it controls dampers inside all the HVAC stuff. Yep, it's a little feller in here. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what. Some of y'all probably ain't never seen this. I hadn't either because I never tore one of these apart. Let me tear this apart and I'll show you how it controls it. All right, just pull this little feller out. It goes on top of there. See this little doodad that goes down through here? Well, it sits on this pin and it makes this piece slide back and forth. That's how it controls vacuum. Let me pull this out. See, it's like a little rubber stamp. All those little chantles. Well, there's all kind of little pinholes down in there. Well, that's this. It's got a bunch of little vacuum lines that go on it. Anyway, that's how. I've always wondered that. How in the world does it control the vacuum? Well, that's how it does it. Let me put this little feller back together. Put it in here. Hook everything up. And I want to see if I'm getting power to my blower switch. If I am, then, well, that fixes that. Well, I don't know if the relay's working out there or not. I think it is, but I won't know until we get that blower switch. We'll just take a couple of days probably. So once I get that done, I think we'll put the steering together. I shall return in a moment and let you know if this fixes that though. Well, here's the deal. It's approximately 2 hours later. I didn't video any of this. I got this basically back together. I didn't video any of it because I had to tear it apart about 972,648.3 times. Yes, I'm very aggravated with that. But it's mostly back together. I am missing, well, I ain't missing, but remember we cut that down from 9/16 to 7/16. Well, the little apparatus that bolts onto here to push this lock plate down so you can put this clip on, because, there's a very strong spring right here. Well, that piece that screws on here, it's made for the 9/16, so it won't work on this. So I've got to make something for my little pusher downer. I ain't doing it tonight. Anyways, I went from that. I'm on an electrical kick tonight. Well, I went from there to the windshield wipers. I know why I went to the windshield wipers. I forgot now. This switch down here that I didn't know what it went to. Well, it goes out here to the windshield wiper motor right here. They got her tied in. I'll have to find the original wire and tie it back into where it goes. But anyway, I started working on that. That switch does nothing to the wipers. The original switch does nothing. I've got it tore apart. Right here. It's very, very, very nasty. This piece here is extremely nasty. Oh, that black gook. I'm going to clean this up, and hopefully that'll fix it, but probably not. We're probably going to have to pull the windshield wiper motor apart and clean it, which won't happen tonight, but I do want to get this switch cleaned up. All this switch does, I looked on the interwebs, studying on the wiring diagram. All this switch does, there's no power that goes through it except for the light that screws in right here. Other than that, this switch, all it does is ground the high, low, and off. Because, it's got a park position when you turn it to off. That's all that switch does. Anyway, let me clean this up, see what it does. If it don't work, well, I'm probably going to go in the house and call it a night. And we'll fool with this another night. Anyway, I forgot to tell you too, the switch I had apart that goes in yonder that does this here, the vacuum switch that also sends power to the blower switch, it works fine and dandy. Oh yeah, no, I can't find that switch to buy it. You have to buy this whole assembly. It's like $130. So we saved $130 there. We've saved probably $40 on the blower motor, but it is squalling at me again a little bit. We may end up having to buy a blower motor. Where else did we save money? If we can get this switch working, I think it's about 50 dineros. I haven't priced the wiper motor, but I bet you it's 100 plus. This is how you save money on this old junk, fellas. You just have to tear it apart, and hopefully you can fix it. I really wish I wouldn't have tore the fan switch up, but that's about 50 dineros. I will purchase it tonight. I think I can get it tomorrow. But anyway, let me get the wiper switch put back together. Let's see what it does. Well, y'all ain't gonna believe me. Let's just show you, but watch this right here. Would you look at it? Would you just look at it? They're barely running. That's on high. I had to tuck the old Hummer and whoop on the motor. It's just, bad connections. We'll probably have to take it apart, but at least we know the motor's good. Let me turn it off before I burn it up. It stops when it's supposed to. Awesome. At least we know that works. I'm going to fool with the blower because it's only running on low. Well, actually, I'm having to jump wires out, because I broke that switch. I'm going to fool with that a little while longer, and I'm going in the house. I reckon tomorrow's Sunday. Sunday's day of rest. That's what I plan on doing. I hope you do the same. Monday, we'll get back out here. Hopefully, get this done up. We'll get the gas tank in. Whatever else is on the board, and we'll be able to drive this thing down the road and go to hauling something. So I reckon I'll see y'all Monday. Wait a minute. Before going in the house, let me show you this right here. This is the blower relay. Basically what it does, it lets power pass through it when it's open or off, and when it's closed or on. When it's off, it lets medium 1 and medium 2 go through, and then when you switch it to high, it actually makes this come on, and it lets full 12 volts pass through another set of contacts. And I was wondering if it was good or bad. Well, we'll hook it up to a 12 volt battery, and y'all listen. Oh yeah, it's good. And I checked my contacts. Let me put that up there so y'all can hear it beep. You check your contacts. From here to here would be high because it's on. Listen. Hear it beeping? Well, let me take the power off. You check the other contacts, and that lets it flow on medium 1 and medium 2. Oh yeah, so the relay's good. Well, there went my meter. That's good for it. I'm not getting, there's an orange wire that powers this. I'm not getting power to it, and I'm not getting ground on my harness. So I don't know what's going on there, but I know this is good. It's a part I don't have to buy. I just got to figure out why I'm not getting power to it, and then back to ground. Anyways, see y'all Monday. Till the next day. Again, I think. I don't know, fellers. I've spent probably 2 days on the electrical. I was not planning on doing that, but I think I've got pretty much everything done. Just installed the blower speed switch. That's the one I broke. Well, watch this right here. I'm going to turn the key on. I don't know if y'all can hear it or not. I'm going to hit it on high. Can you hear it blowing? Oh, yeah. I can sure smell the mouse, because it stinks now that we got that blowing. Good gracious, it sure does. I found the ground wire for that relay. Remember, we wasn't getting ground on it, this relay here. Also, let me tell you this, firstly. You only have this relay if you got air conditioning on these square bodies. I don't really understand that, but that's the way it is. But anyway, I found the ground wire. It was broke, or cut, right here. And it goes up here, and it was cut there too. I don't think a mouse chewed that, but it's possible. But anyway, put that ground on there and put that switch in there, and all of the HVAC works except for, remember, the dampers are controlled by vacuum. Here's your vacuum canister. Well, there's no hosiery on it at all. Well, I think right here, that's going into that vacuum switch. Well, it needs to be hooked up to here. And then we got to have a vacuum source from the motor over to here. Got to run that. I'll do that sometime, but I ain't worried about that right now. I think what we're fixing to do, let's get the old gas tank in. Oh, wait a minute. I got the dome light working too off of the headlight switch. Watch this right here. Oh, look at there, buddy. It doesn't work with the door switches. You know, if this grounds them, well, they're probably rusted. I might work on them sometime, but I ain't worried about it right now. But what was wrong with it is that wire going to the dome light, it was cut in a couple of different places. So I had to put that back together. Anyway, let's get this gas tank ready to go in. First thing we got to do is get this little fella. Wait a minute, we gotta put this on first. Then get this little fella down in here. Just like that right there. Let me tell you something. It has turned cold here in Tennessee. Sure has. We've been having weather in the 60s and 70s for 2 weeks now. And then wake up this morning, it's in the 20s. Yeah, crazy. Now, this is going to go... Is it going to go just like that right there? I think so. Let's whoop on it with a hammer. Now what I got to do is raise the truck up. We got a ground wire. I got to make my end that goes on here. I don't know what we're going to use. I don't know where this old went. I threw it away just a little while ago. Yep, the old sending unit. I was in the trash. This was all in the trash. Yep. So I don't know what I'm going to use here. Let me figure out something. We got to raise the truck up anyway to make our wire. Here's what we got going on. This is the wire for the sending unit. It's been rigged on because of that right there. Don't know what's going on. The ground wire already took it loose. Right there, we don't need it. What I gotta do, if you will recall, you can't get up in here to unhook your hoses and your wire. So what we're gonna do is add an extension to where when the tank's sitting right here, we got enough length of wire and hose, we can hook her up here, then raise the little fella up. So let me get me a little length of wire and hook it up here and figure out some kind of way to hook it to this little pin. I'm wondering, see right here, you know, threw that part away like I told you a minute ago. I'm wondering if maybe one of these fellers in here will just stick on it like a butt connector. Let's see what happens. Well, it ain't on there real tight, so I ain't sure what I'm gonna do there yet. Let me figure that out and get me a length of wire connected under there, and then we'll get this gas tank under here. Here's what we're doing. Here's the wire that was here for the sending unit. Well, let's stick her back through the hole. And as you can see, it's plenty long. So I don't think we'll be messing up if we just hook it straight to this. Here's what I've come up with. That butt connector, it will work. I had to trim off the excess plastic on either end, basically jam it on and beat it on the prong up there. Yeah, I think it'll work. So let me fix this wire up right here. Crimp this butt connector on, we'll have that part. Let me scoot this little feather onto the end a little bit right there. Chompa. There's that. Let me put that on now. Now what I got to do, our hoses from our metal line to our tank, I'm going to bring it down here. This is a return style system. I've got the return on the fuel pump locked off, but I think I'll go ahead and blow through these lines, the return and supply, make sure they're not stopped up. I will hook the return line up here. I ain't sure we're going to do it up there yet. Maybe, we'll just have to wait and see. But there's several spots of hoses that we got to replace. Let me get that done, and I shall return momentarily. I got my hose hooked up there. We're gonna chomp her off about right there. I think that'd be plenty of length. Hopefully we don't put a kink in it as we're raising it up. Maybe not. I gotta get a clamper lamp on it firstly before we go any farther. All right, that's a supply. Now I gotta find a, what is that, 5/16 for the return. I got some somewhere. Let me go find it. We'll probably go ahead and hook the return up if the line is not stopped up or got a hole rusted in it. Well, that's not 5/16, it's quarter. I just happen to have some quarter right here. And that'll be good. Let me put a clamp on it. Alright, I got them run. They're ready to hook up to the gas tank, but right here in the middle, see that and that? Well, they cut that gas line just right in the middle and removed a section. I don't know why. I just pulled the old hose off. Let me put a new piece there, and then right here at the valve on either side, we got a short pieces we got to replace there. Then I'm going to shoot some carb cleaner in them and hit them with air, clean them out, make sure they're not stopped up, make sure we ain't got no holes in them. All right, here's what's going on. I got all the rubber hoses replaced except for the very end, and I broke the valve, or switching from one side to the other on the gas tanks. It's plastic. I was pulling off the return hose and it broke the little barb fitting off. So I just got the return line butted together, bypassing the valve. If we ever get this other tank fixed, I'll have to get a new valve. Anyways, what we're going to do right now, I'm going to shoot some carb cleaner in this line right here. And then y'all listen, do you hear anything up there? Oh yeah. So that's not stopped up. Let me do the return. I'm putting that carb cleaner in there to maybe help flush any garbage out. Listen. Oh yeah. We're good there too. So now what I got to do is go up there, replace both hoses there, hook up the fuel pump, then we put our tank in. All right, I reckon it's time. Get this little fella back up in here. First thing we got to do, hook our lines up if I can find some hose clamps. I had some somewhere. It's got 3 thingamabobs. That third one is for the charcoal canister evaporative emissions. You know how much I care about that? 0, 0. Yep, sure do. We can worry about it. Oh. Now, let's see if we can get this sending unit wire mashed down on there, and hopefully it don't come off. Then I gotta get this ground wire through this hole. That's like that right there, I guess. Now where are the holes? Well, it's gotta come back here, I guess. Not right there. Now here's what I plan on doing. I'm gonna go get my floor jack, stick it on here and jack it up. That'll hopefully hold it in place whilst I get the bolts in. Let's set her on blocks first. That way maybe I can get that jack under. Heave-ho! Well, alright, feed the jack up here. I know y'all probably can't see nothing. Best I can do, best I can do. Jack this little fella up. Alright, what is my field neck doing? Hanging up on something. Or no? What's hanging up then? I don't know, sirs. Here, right here. Oh yeah, there we go. Now let me go on up with it. Up, up, and away! What about my field neck? It's hung on something. Huh. I gotta let her back down. Right down! Now I gotta get my field neck up above whatever this is that's hitting. Yeah, you sorry son of a gun, you. As per usual, we have to start over. Now go up with it. Field neck is in place. It ought to go on up. Going up. I think we're good. Let me get this lined up a little better. I'll put some bolts in it. Put some bolts in it, man! By George, I got one started. Now what do I need? Hither. This here is that way just a little bit. Let me peck on it with a hammer. Did that help me out? Yeah. Sure enough. Alright, let me get the rest of these bolts started and I'll be back and we'll tighten them up. I got them all started. Let's just tighten them up. Some of these are probably going to be cross-threaded. You know what? I don't care. That one was definitely cross-threaded. There we have it. Let's let her down and we'll hook the fill neck up. Let's get that little feller screwed into place. Hopefully about right there. There's one. There's one more. Our lock and gas cap that doesn't lock. Knowing my luck, it's going to lock on me one day. I need to get a new one, I guess. But anyway, there you are, fellas. We got us a brand new tank, basically a brand new fuel system. Well, I don't have any gasoline, so I got to run to the store to get some. But here's the deal, fellas. I've been out here about 3 hours, and I'm telling you, it's all I can do to walk right now. My knees are hurting me so bad. I'm gonna go in the house, rest my knees for an hour or so, take some Tylenol. Hopefully that'll help me out. We'll come back out here. What else do we have to do? I tell you what, let's go over to the board and see what we got to do. Can we mark anything off? We got the gas tank done. Nope, can't do, nope, nope, and nope, and nope, and actually we can mark this off, and here's why. I meant to show y'all while I had it up in the air. Remember me telling you that I thought it only had 2 bolts holding this whole apparatus in? Well, I'm incorrect. It's got 4. So I think that'll be good enough for now. But I am going to lower this truck eventually, and that's going to put our hitch too far down. So we'll have to make us step notches on the frame, and then a whole new mount for the gooseneck hitch. Yeah, but that'll be good enough for now. Anyways, when I come back from getting gasolines, we'll fire it up, make sure it's going to pull from the tank, and then I might go ahead and do the steering wheel. Let's do the brakes, get them bled. I'm going to use my power bleeder. And then, I don't know, if I feel like it, we'll work on some more stuff. I shall return in a little while. Well, I'm back. There's my gasolines. My knees are rested up. I took some Tylenol. They're not hurting right now, but an hour from now, well, I may be crawling to the house. I don't know. I don't want to fire this thing up right now because I'll have to open the door so I don't die from carbon monoxide poisoning. So we'll do that last thing tonight. Right now, let's hook up the power bleeder. We'll bleed the brakes. What else? We can fix the hood probably. That'll be pretty easy, I think. We might do some other stuff, but right now, let's get these brakes bled, finally. Power bleeder is hooked up, and let me show you why I don't like this thing. Number one, see, she is steadily dripping, so I got that pan there. And you have to use these chains and J-hooks. And it's a garbage way to do this. And I've got these little fellers as tight as I can get them without, you know, breaking my fingers, and it still leaks. Anyway, that's why I don't like the power bleeder. Let's raise her up. Start back yonder. I'm gonna bleed all four of them. Well, MLS has visited us tonight. Yeah. It's been 45 minutes ago when I told y'all I was gonna start bleeding the brakes. Well, I raised the truck up. I saw a puddle of brake fluid. I remembered, well, you got to change that union out. Change the union out. It still leaked. I thought, well, there's something wrong with that flare. There it is, and as you can see, I don't see nothing wrong with it. That's factory flare, by the way, from O'Reilly's. I used that whole stick. It's 5 or 6 feet. Use the whole thing. Well, cut it off, reflared it, screwed it back together, and we'll see them threads on that nut. It stripped the threads out on the nut. Well, cut that off, reflared it again. This is the flare that it gave me. What in the world? So I finally, because I'm using my hand flaring tool, but I can't get that oven up in there. I finally said, "Fooey on you!" I took the whole brake line out, brought it over here to the vise, flared it. I'm fixing to pump some pressure to the brake system. If it leaks this time, I'm going in the house. If it don't, we're gonna bleed some brakes. Well, I don't see any leaks, so let me open this bleeder and get this thing bled before something else happens. Got fluids, lots of air, lots of more air, more air. Well, come on, man. More air. I believe that's solid fluids right there. Yep. All right, let me shut this off and go to the driver's side rear. All right, let's open this here bleed door. See what we get. Well, we ain't getting nothing. Oh, here we go. Fluid, fluid, and fluid. I don't see no air. Well, maybe just a wee bit every now and then, but I think that in there's good. Yep. Let me go up front, do them two. I shall return. Well, I didn't get any air out of either front ones, just that right rear. I don't understand that, because if I ain't mistaken, this side is the one we was getting air out of. That don't make any sense unless it worked its way over there. I don't know, but anyway, I think we're gonna have pretty good brakes now. We're gonna fix the hood now. They had some pieces of metal here. That's, well, they're a joke. That little old thin mess there ain't gonna do nothing. Neither is that, but that is better because it's thicker. You gotta have a rib on it, like a piece of angle iron, like what I bought the other day. Just like that right there. It's 1-inch angle iron. You gotta have that vertical support, just like the frame rail. The vertical is what keeps from bending this way, and you got your two pieces top and bottom. That keeps it from bending this way. You got to have that vertical support, or it just ain't gonna do nothing. I've seen them, they sell them, they're just flat piece of metal. That's don't waste your money on that, fellers. You gotta have something with a rib on it. Anyway, I'm gonna put it from probably about here to right here anyways. That's probably 2.5 foot. Let me get a measurement and I'll cut me some pieces and we'll get them screwed down. 2 feetages it is. So let me get her marked. If I can find my soapstone. Right about this area here. Go ahead and mark this in here too. All right, let us do the cutty cut. Now we gotta make us some holes. I'm gonna do 1 inch from the end. Come on, man. Right there. Then, well, let's do every 3 inches. 1, 2, 3. Right there. 1, 2, 3. One right there. And let me drill both of these, and we'll put them on the truck. Well, there's a 1. All right, let me get the other drilled. We'll put them on. Well, I got her in place, and I see now that I went a little too long because from here down is a different level than these two. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to cut it off, but we probably won't put no screws back here. I got her lined up pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and start drilling holes. I don't have my drill screws that I got. I don't think they're long enough. I may try them. If they don't work, then we'll have to drill holes and use these. But tell you what, let me go get my drill screws. Let's just see what it does. All right, let's see what we can do. We'll put one right here. This is the drill screw, by the way. I think it might be enough threads. We'll see. Yeah, I think it'll be all right. So let me continue on with them. That one there is off the pad, if you will. I tell you what, I'm gonna have to just cut it off and then drill us another hole here on the end. Matter of fact, let me make a mark now. We'll cut the little feller off right there. I'll put me another hole about right there. I also put a 45 right here on the end because I know I'll be working on this thing and I'll hit my head on that and I'll have to go to the hospital and get 74 stitches, so yeah. I got her cut to length, put another 45 on it. Oh, look at that, ain't that pretty? Now let's get this little feller back on here. We'll put one right here. Well, I didn't put one there, so we'll have to go to a different hole. Approximately right there. Oh crap, it pulled threads out. Darn it. Then put another one right here. Yep. These screws may not be strong enough. I may have to do something different. I'm going to have to move that hole because I just stripped the threads out. I got to put one right here. Yeah, let me drill a different hole right there real quick like. Now, put us another drilling screw in there. Well, it's better than it was. Let me do the other side and we'll close it. I'm gonna grease all these hinges, then we'll close it and see how it does. I got this one on over here. Now we're greasing everything up. Hopefully this is gonna help it out a bunch right here. It's still bent right back here. Ain't nothing I can do about it, fellas. It looks better than it did. Hopefully it'll operate better than it did. All right. Let's give her a try, see what it does. I'm afraid our angle may hit our windshield washer tank. If it does, we'll unscrew it and move it down, because that tank is good. It ain't busted. All right, what does it do? Oh, buddy, she's still, yep. It's bending right here now. Yep, she's still pretty stiff. All thing I know to do is just work with it. Oh, they eased up a bunch right then. I tell you what, that Kroll oil, man, that's some good stuff. It sure is. Yep. She's eased up a whole bunch. All right, let's see if this is gonna hit. I don't think it will. Let me shut it hard. Goodness, it's still bowed up over here. Yeah, it won't latch. What in the world? It won't latch. Well, that ain't no good. It used to at least latch. All right, it latched then, but it's still pretty bad. Yep. I don't think there's a whole lot of hope left for this hood. I thought we might could fix it, but nope. Anyway, pull the handle, man. Okay. Yeah, the hinges are better, but the hood, it's still pretty doggone bad. Let's see if I can bend her back up a little bit. What can we do? There ain't a whole lot we can do. We might put a short piece here on that little step down. I might try that sometime, not right now. It's even bowed out here. Doing a little body work. Yeah, I think we need a new hood. Well, I thought that would fix the hood, but apparently not. You can see it's bowed up here. This is where the original bend in our angle iron is, like from here up. We need something here to help it out, but I don't know. I'll study on it, but anyway, for now it'll have to do. I'm tired. My knees are starting to hurt again. So I think we'll fill her up with gas tomorrow, fire it up, and we'll do that before I turn the heat on, because I gotta have the door open. We'll do it first thing, see if that's gonna pull from the tank. But right now, let's mark some stuff off our board, because we have finished a couple of things. Numero uno is brakes are done. Hood is done as it's going to get. I guess that's it. This one, I don't know if we're going to fool with this week. That don't take 15 minutes. I don't know if we're going to do that because it's too cold outside. Got to do that tomorrow, and then we can maybe take it down the road. We'll see. Well, it's quite chilly in here. Quite chilly outside. Well, let's fill this thing up with some gasolines, fire it up, see how it does. Give her a couple of pumps, fire and hold. Well, I think our battery's dead. Blower fan's squalling at me too. Well, let me get the battery charger out. That ain't one thing, it's something else all the time around here. Sure is. I guess it ran down whilst I had the key on fooling with the blower fan and the all that other stuff, switches and all. Let's see if 100 amps will help it start. Fire to hold. Come on, man. Let me open the door so we don't die. I don't know why that thing is so cold nature, but it sure is. I need to hook up a wire to the choke. That'd probably help it out a lot. I don't know if y'all can see that, but she's smoking like a freight train off the valve cover. I think this one over here is doing the same thing. Yeah. We got to fix that sometime or another, but not today. There will be another video on this because, yeah, there ain't no way I can get all this done in just 2 weeks. Anyways, I'm gonna let it sit here and warm up. We gotta put some antifreezes in it. Oh, and I got this old gas hose right in the way. Let me get that out of the way. But it's been running for, I don't know, a couple minutes, so I think we're pulling from the tank now. I'm gonna raise it up and let's make sure we ain't got no fuel leaks. Well, I went to put some antifreeze in it because it was running a wee bit hot. Well, I had to go fill my jug up because I didn't have just a little bit. And when I shut her off, well, it just bubbled most of the water out of the radiator. Don't know why. Maybe it had an air bubble in there getting it out. I don't know. Anyway, it's running smooth. See, the water level has dropped some more. I add some more. Haven't gotten a chance to raise it up yet because of all this, but we'll raise it up here in a minute to make sure we ain't got no leaks. Y'all probably can't see it because the plastic is so dulled, but the fuel gauge needle's way over here past full, so it does not work. Nope. And temperatures, we're back to normal on that. You can't hardly see that either. I was going to try to clean this up, this plastic, polish it. Well, I got on the YouTubes and there was a couple of fellers that tried it. They cleaned it up some, but it was still pretty foggy. So I'm probably just going to buy one of these plastic things. Right now though, let's raise it up, see if we got any leaks on the fuel system. Well, I don't see any fuel leaks anywhere on any of the hoses or lines or nothing like that. But got a little noise going on up here. Hear it? I don't know if it's in the bottom of the motor or something in the clutch area. Anyway, it's still dripping antifreeze a little bit. I hope that stops. If not, then we got a leak somewhere. But I think we're good on the fuel system. Let's let her back down and I don't know, we'll work on something else. Well, I checked the heat output while it was running and the temperature so-so. But the airflow, it ain't all that great, which these I don't think moved a whole lot of air anyway, but we may still have a mouse house stopping us up. I'll run my camera up in there sometime or another and look around. Right now though, I think I'm gonna put these sparking plug wires on. I ain't gonna video that, that's just elementary stuff. Then we get that done, let's put the steering wheel back on. I gotta make an installer for that. Then I reckon we'll put some tires on it. Sparking plug wires are done, and even got my little wire tie looms there. Don't look too bad. We are going to clean this up eventually. You know, soap it down, pressure wash it, valve cover gaskets because both of them leaks, but not today, not even in this video. What we're going to do now, we're going to get this steering wheel put back together. Here's what we got to do. Let me get my tool out and I'll show you what you're supposed to use, and then I'm going to show you what I've got to do. Here's the apparatus that you normally use. This is a steering wheel puller and installer. This little feller here normally would screw down on here because it's 9, oh, that's the millimeter. There's a metric standard right here, it's 9/16. Anyway, that would normally screw down on there. Then you got this horseshoe thing that goes over that, and the nut goes here, pushes this lock ring down, and you put that little clip on. Well, if you will recall, we cut that down to 7/16, so these don't fit. So what I got to do, where's my nut? Here it is. I bought some 7/16 fine thread nuts. What I'm gonna do, that'll screw down on there. Maybe it ain't wanting to go. There it goes. Then I'm gonna weld me a bolt here, and we may have to thread that bolt long enough for this horseshoe thing, but that's basically what I'm doing. weld a bolt to this, and then we use that to push this on there. Let me get that welded up. We'll get this on. Will it or won't it work? Probably not, but we got to try. Screw this on firstly, and this is crooked. I didn't get it welded very straight. Sure didn't. But I think it'll do. All right, now you put your horseshoe on. Put that nut on right there. And go to running it down. But it's got, you know, it's got teeth or splines. It skips one because it's got a certain way it's got to go. I got to make sure I got her lined up right. Right there, I think. Yep. Crank her down, boys. Crank her down. I don't see the groove. I don't think we're far enough down. It sure don't look like it. You know what I've done? I should have put this on first. So, in true MLS, this and that garage backyard butchery fashion, well, we get to do it over. That locking plate it's hung up right now. I'm trying to hold it down, but it's probably gonna come flying off and hit me in the face. But anyway, let me get this feller on there first. Just like that right there. Please don't come flying off. Now put this little feller back on. Heather. Now, let's see if we can get that little clip on there. It's a dumb way to do it. Something ain't jiving here. This won't go down far enough for some reason. I can't see it. It's just a blur. Where's my glasses? Are they out here? Let me go get them so I can see what I'm doing. Now, what we got going on? I don't even see the groove. Something ain't right. Don't know what it is, but something tis not right. Let me take this back apart and study on it. Well, I did some studying. The only thing I can come up with is this is what you call the preload cup. It's supposed to fit inside of that inside race there. And then your spring, preload spring goes on top of it. Well, you know, it's got little fingers. And I don't think they were going down inside of the race. So I took them chanty locks and bent them in where hopefully they'll go down inside that race now. We're going to see here in just a moment. Let me get this down in there. It might be hanging up on the inside of that preload cup too, on the shaft. Not sure. Will it or won't it this time? Probably not. No, sir, she's bottomed out already. And the bearing ain't even tight this time. It ain't been doing that before, so that's something new. This starting to get on my nerves, fellers. Yep. By George, I think I got it. I had it backwards on this cup. I thought those little fingers were supposed to fit inside of that inner race because it's sort of tapered. No, sir. It's supposed to sit on top of the race. That makes sense now. So I think she's going to work this time. All right, will it or won't it? By George, I see a ring groove. Oh, yeah. Kaplow. She just went into place. Let me loosen this up. It's got to stay inside of this outer lock plate. There she went, fellers. Looky here, looky here. An hour later, I finally got that fixed. Sorta. It's trying to pop out over here. Let me fix that. There she goes. Oh, yeah. And oh, yeah. Where is my steering wheel? I don't even know. Is it on top? Yep, it's on the other side. Let me go get it. Now, we got to get this here lined up with this hole here. About like that. Is this spline where it's got to go on a certain way? I don't think so. It don't appear that it is, so the wheels are slightly turned too, so that makes sense. But this does not. There it goes. There she goes. Put our 70/16 nut on. By George, I think we got us a steering wheel. Sure enough. Well, why is it so loose? What in the world, man? That ain't no better than what I had. That is exactly how it was. Well, there's the deal. I got it tore apart, as you can see. The bottom bearing, the shaft is your inner race. And then the ball bearings are held in place with a plastic cage. Well, then all the ball bearings in that cage fell down, got cockeyed, and wouldn't let this whole assembly tighten up on itself. That's what happened. I'm gonna turn the camera off. Hopefully I will remain calm enough to put this together, because it's really starting to perturb me. I've been fooling with this for well over an hour. It's ridiculous. Anyway, let me get this put back together. If you hear from me tonight, that means I was successful. If you don't hear from me until tomorrow, that means I got mad, took a sledgehammer to it, and I had to go in the house. See y'all in a little while either way. It is almost 2 o'clock in the morning. Yep, it's 1:47 to be exact. And, well, I haven't had a good day. No, sir. Let me tell you about my day. This fella right here, yep. I'm going to give her one more try, and then I'm going to sell the truck. It's going to be just like this without a steering wheel. I took it apart 3 times. Every time that bottom bearing would fall out of place, the ball bearings would fall all over the place, and then, of course, this wouldn't tighten up. Well, to keep from busting it to pieces with a big old hammer, I said, "Fooey on you, I'm going in the house." So I went in the house, ate supper, fell asleep under a recliner for probably 2 hours. I was like, you know what, let's get back out there and fool with it. Well, I took it apart, put it together, took it apart 2 more times. And the last time, they call it a preload cup. It's right here. Well, it ain't supposed to look like that. It's supposed to be closed up in a circle. These little fingers, why they make it like this, I don't know. But these little fingers, well, they spread out. It deformed the center. And I couldn't get it back off the shaft because it's a pretty tight fit. So that's the result of that. I've got a couple of places we can go get one of these tomorrow off an old truck. I'll have to call the older fella and see if he'll let me. But I had to quit on it. I was going to make one of these out of this piece of pipe. I was like, we can do that, but I'm going to see if I can get what goes on there first. Anyway, I decided, let's go ahead and put our new tires on the wheels. That was a battle in and of itself. It probably took an hour and a half to do those 2 tires. They were so stiff. The wheels were extremely rusty. I had to do a lot of brushing, and of course I had to put bead sealer on them. Then I swapped, these were on the back. I wanted them on the front because they're not an LT tire. I wanted my load tires, back there. That's not what LT stands for, by the way. It's not load tire, it's light truck. I know somebody tell me, that don't stand for load tire. Anyway, we got issues with that. I'll explain it tomorrow. Right now I'm going in the house because I'm tired. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Well, as you can tell, we are at the machine shop, AKA also known as Mama's Basement. We're going to make us a little preload cup. Here is the inner race of that top bearing. This has got to sit on it. It probably don't matter, but this is just a wee bit bigger than the OD of this. This is 1.225. This is 1.250. We're going to take 25 to 30 thousandths off of this. The inside, I think, is good. It has to fit over the shaft. I think it's like 10 or 15 thousandths bigger. I might take a wee bit off, not much. Then we'll make it, I believe it's what did I say? 5/8. Whatever this measures here, I think it's 5/8. Anyways, let us get to cutting. This is DOM tubing, by the way, drawn over mandrel. This is what I use to make the rear trailing arms on the 40 and Doodie. All right, let me get a measurement on that. Actually, let me sand on that because she's rough. I guess my cutter here must be getting dull. What do we have? We have approximately exactly 39. We need to go to 20. Let's take 20 total. That'd probably do it. 10, 20 right there. What about now? What we got? What we got? That is about 16. I think it'll be pretty good. Let's put this race up against it. See what we feel like. Yeah, I think it'll be all right. Now, I want to measure the inside of this race. See what we got. An inch and about 13. Inside of this one is an inch and 8. I think it'll be okay. I measured the shaft. It was just a hair under an inch. I think this will be okay. If not, well, we can do something with it. Let me part it off to, where did that piece go? I don't know. Here it is in this pocket. I got it's kind of hard to get a measurement because it's all crumbled up, but that right there is showing 350. So I was way off. I said 5/8. This here is showing, let's make it, that's 3/8. Let's make it 3/8. You can always take off easier than you can put back on. So we'll make her 3/8 long. We get to use my favorite tool, the parting tool. This lathe has got so much slop, it's hard to use this little feller here. Need to be about there, a little bit below center. All right. That's 3/8 right there. About right there. Let's chomp her off. I gotta lock down the carriage first. Oh yeah. Well, we made it back to the shop, and I have observed something I should have done, but didn't pay attention to it. Well, I knew I was going to have to weld a whoosher on top because your spring's got to sit here. If you don't have nothing there, well, it just sits inside of it, and it does nothing. Well, that's going to make this too thick, so I'm going to have to take the thickness of this off of this. We may have to go back to the machine shop and do that. I'm not sure. But this middle hole's got to be drilled out to 3/4 because that's what the shaft is. So let's do this firstly. Then we'll see if we can take the thickness of this off by sanding or maybe even hit it with the grinder. We'll see. Let's drill this out first. This hole measures 1/2 inch. We got to go to 3/4. We use our Christmas tree bit, hopefully, to drill this out. Ooh, that's hot. Dadgum. I hate this drill. If it gets under any kind of load, it just stops. We look pretty centered. I'm just making sure we ain't hitting the vise and, you know, knocking us off center. There is 3/4. Let me go this way. Clean it up. Is that hot? Nope. Let me try it and make sure it's going to fit over the shaft, or if we need to file it out a little bit. Well, it fits, but it's really snug, which I want it to be tight, but it's a little bit too tight. So we're going to take a wee bit more off with this file here. Let me see what that does. Well, it fit perfectamundoli, so let me see if I can get her tacked up. There it is. I went ahead and ground it down to the 375 that we wanted. I reckon it's time to try the little feller. See what it's going to do. If this don't work, then I'm selling the truck. Where's my spring? Here's my spring. Go just like that right there. You got your cancel cam. Then your locking plate that has to go a certain way, and then your ring there. I think where I've sort of been messing up, there's some slop in this right now. Well, I've been pushing down on stuff, and it lets that whole bearing assembly fall out. So I'm trying not to do that until I can get some tension on it. I do know this. I've had several of these GM tilt columns apart, and I've never had this much trouble. No, sir. What am I looking for? Got to have my horseshoe next. Got to put the horseshoe on. Put the nut on. Now, we'll start putting tension on it and get that locking plate lined up, hopefully. I think it's acting like it's lined up. Now, before we go any further, there's a spot right here you can see that bearing. I don't see any bearings hanging down, so I think we're good. The next obstacle is my little cup too tall. The cup's too tall. No, wait a minute, it's still going, All right, I don't see my ring groove. So, yeah, our cup's too tall, I'm going to say. Because this here feels very tight. Let me look in here again. Yeah, I don't see no bearings hanging down. So, we're right there at it, I believe. But I need to take some off of that cup. Yep. So let me take her back apart. Do a little grinding on it. What do we has? That's 330. Over here we got 340. I want to take it on down quite a bit. I'm going to try to get around 5/16 or so. That's 310. That's 312. I think we're there. Let me pull off here and measure the other sides and make sure we're good. We'll give her another try. Got everything into place for the 982nd time. 982nd time is the charm. That's what I've always been told anyway. All right, we're going on down on the thing there. Keep on crank-a-lanking. What happens? So we're going to see our groove this time. Nope, sure ain't. So we got another issue. It's I don't know, fellas. I'm about ready to give up. I don't know what else to do. This is down as far as it's going to go. It got a little locking thing. It's about to be bottomed. Well, it is bottomed out on the turn signal thing. So I don't know. Let me scratch my head. See what I can come up with. Well, look here. Would you look at it? Would you just look at it? We finally got a steering wheel. It's still got a little wobble to it, but I'm done with it, fellas. I don't know what else to do. I ground that what's it called? Preload cup, the one we made. I ground it down to, it wasn't even 1/4 inch thick. And it just barely, I had to beat the ring into the groove. There's something wrong. I don't know if this is different shaft. I don't know. Maybe, you know, trucks take a different one than cars, and this is a car. I don't know. I don't care. It's good enough. Ain't gonna worry about it. We can turn, and then it locks into place where you can't steal it. What's next? We're gonna get away from this. Yep, I need a horn button. I don't care right now. I will, if I want to blow the horn, I'll do this and this. That's what I'll do. I got to get away from this because I'm very perturbed. Let's get on the back tires. Here's what's going on with the tire situation. There's my new ones, by the way. I put them in the middle because I didn't like the sidewall. I don't know why they got to put all that ugly stuff on the sidewalls nowadays. I hate it. This and here's got some, but it ain't too bad. Anyway, here's the issue. I'm running too wide a tire. You know, it's a lot wider than stock. I think stock was 215, 85, 16. These are 245, 75, 16s. A lot wider. Well, that means that you can't see no daylight. We can see just a little bit between them two tires. And, well, you know, when you set a vehicle down, that tire bulges right down here from the weight. Well, they're almost touching and there's no weight on this one. It ain't bulging yet. So when I do finally get weight on this one, those two sidewalls are going to be rubbing. You don't want that. Friction, it'll wear the sidewall out and you'll blow the tire out. So here's how we're going to remedy that. I got 4 1/4-inch spacers. I think we're going to use 2 on each side for a total of 1/2 inch in between them. I hope they don't mess us up when we lower it. I don't think it will. We'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, let me pull this outer tire and wheel off, put the spacers on there and see what it looks like. I believe I threw my shoulder out last night wrestling these little fellers. They are not light. And I am no spring chicken anymore. Yep. In case you haven't figured it out, also, my joints are rotten. Yep. Anyway, let's put these here spacers on. They go approximately like that. That don't leave us a whole lot on our lug nuts, does it? Matter of fact, that's not going to work. Nope, because that right there is taking up a bunch. Also, yep, I don't think it's going to work, fellers. Yep. Anyway, let's see what it does. Oh, yeah! Get up there, buddy. Nope. Ain't gonna work. Well, that's good. That's awesome. I don't even think I can use a 1/4-inch spacer. Nope. Let's see what the 1/4-inch looks like, but I'm pretty sure it ain't gonna work. Oh, yeah! Nope. When you put this one on, nope, leaves no room for lug nuts. We got longer studs if I'm gonna use spacers of any kind. So, I bought tires that I can't use, fellers. Yep. What in the world? What in the world? No, sir, that ain't gonna work. Our tires, I bought 2 new tires that I cannot use. Nope. I was wondering maybe, you know, it's only sitting on this one here. Well, if you get weight on both of them, that one, they won't bulge as much, but just as soon as you put some weight on it, it'll be right back like it was. So yeah, that ain't gonna work. I do have a set of 19.5s that the older gentleman gave me a couple years ago. But from what I have read, as much as I want to drop this thing, you can't run them. A 19.5, you just got 2 or 3 choices in the size of tire. And they claim that if I go as low as I want to, the tire will hit your inner fender, and we can't. We'll try it, but I don't know. Probably not. Well, imagine what's going to happen. I'll sell all 4 of these on the marketplace, take that money and go buy 4 that will actually fit. Probably, I think it come with 215. Well, I'd open the door and see, but it's too high up. We'll get something that'll work, is what I'm trying to tell you. If I had every intention of driving this truck in this video and hauling something, that ain't gonna happen because the video's supposed to be out in probably 2 hours. It's not coming out tonight. Absolutely not. I'm hoping to get it out tomorrow. I do want to at least drive it for a little bit, but as you can see, it's dark outside. Yep. So I don't want to video it in the dark. That's a dilemma I fight all the time. I've got a second shift mentality. Where I used to work, the factory I used to work, I worked second shift for many years. And that's just what my brain is programmed to work now, and that's basically what I work out here. Most time, if that doorway is in shot, it's gonna be dark because I'm working second shift. I've tried to be a normal person as far as work hours, and just, I can't do it. Well, like last night, you know, we worked till, it was 2 o'clock. Then I had about 2 hours of computer work. Then, by then I was hungry, you know, supper time was 6-8 hours ago. Had to eat, had to take a shower, got to unwind a little bit. I think I got into bed a little bit before 6. Yep. And when you do that, I don't get maybe 5 or 6 hours sleep, but still that's putting you getting up at 11 or 12. And you don't get start work till 1. And it's just it's a terrible cycle that I'm in. One of my New Year's resolutions for 26 is going to be work normal hours. I doubt that'll happen, but I'm going to give it a try. Anyway, I think what we'll do, since the video ain't coming out tonight, we got the rest of the evening to work on it. We'll piddle on it. Tomorrow we'll take her for a drive in the daylight, and then I'll put the video out tomorrow night. Let me figure out what we're going to work on next. Here's what I'm doing right now. We got to get our heater controls working. Here's the vacuum canister. I thought the barb fitting was broke on the top, but it ain't. It's got 2 on the bottom. One from your vacuum source and then one over to your vacuum control. So let me find some hose. I think this will work here. And we'll hook all this up, and then we might fire it up and make sure our vacuum controls work, because the damper doors may be stuck. I don't know. We'll see. Let's put this on here. I don't know if this piece of hose is long enough. Let's set her up here where she's going to go. Will it reach? Oh, yeah, that's plenty. So, I don't know if it'll fit over this little tube or not. All right. That one's done. I got to find one to run from a vacuum source over here. Let me do that, and I think we'll fire it up and see if the controls work. Will this in here reach to the carburetor device? If so, that will be great and grand. Oh yeah. I'm gonna leave a little extra because you have what is called ported vacuum and then manifold vacuum. You don't want this on ported. You want it on full-time vacuum. So we'll leave a little extra, cut it off about right there, plug it into that one. Hopefully that'll work. I had a bolt. Here's the bolt. Let's put this little feller back where it goes. Also, oh, by the way, I can tell you with confidence that in 1980, GM used some metric bolts on the vehicles. Because these right here, they're 10 mamas. I've run into that on something else too on this truck. Alright, let's fire it up, see what it does. Heater controls do not work, and well, we got smoke coming from somewhere. That is antifreeze. Yeah, I see her leaking over yonder. I guess her heater core is garbage. So let me turn the truck off. Yep, I guess we need a heater core. Yay! I was wanting to tear the HVAC apart anyway to clean all the mouse house out. Well, I guess this is my chance. Great and grand. I was going to set the timing, but we got to shut her off because, yep, we got antifreeze leaking. Well, it's on the ground right there, leaking out of the cab. Well, there you go. Okay, well, you can't see. Let me turn the light on real quick. The Artez. I was wondering if that was going to leak or not. Well, there's your answer. Okay. Well, that adds to the list of things we have to do before we can drive it. So, I reckon we'll end the video right here. Let's go right heater core on the board. I've added several more things. I've almost doubled what we had on the board. Let me put heater core down on there. Heater core. Here's what I have added so far. I want to redo the hood. We're going to do some welding on it. The hood's junk anyway, so it don't matter. The belt situation, when I was running it yesterday, I heard something in the accessories, whether it's alternator or water pump, like a bearing vibrating and would quit, bearing vibrating and quit. That may be why that belt is doing what it's doing. That's the only explanation, because the belt is not that out of line. It acts like, to me, it's either one or the other. It's got a bad bearing. I think that may be what's going on. We're going to investigate it anyway. Could be wrong. Probably am, because I usually am about everything else. Anyway, we're going to lower it. I want to tint the windows. Probably going to remove the running boards when we lower it, because they're probably going to scrape. Windshield washer motor, windshield wiper motor. We got to take it apart and see what's going on with it. The HVAC, well, I was wanting to tear it apart and clean all the mouse house. Well, we're fixing to do that because we got to do the heater core. And the driver's side window keeps, the rollers keep running out of the track. Matter of fact, it's fell down right now, so we got to fix that. Several more things. Well, I'll just go ahead and tell you, the video of lowering it, that's probably going to be one video by itself because we're going to do an axle flip and lower it in the front with springs and spindles. Then when we do that, we got to redo our hitch. So that will probably be one video, and then another video doing the other stuff. So 2 more videos, yep. Probably going to skip a week or 2 because I'm trying not to stay on the same thing week after week. So in a few weeks, we'll get back on this and hopefully get the thing roadworthy once again. Well, I forgot to mark off a couple things. I went ahead and did it off camera. The steering wheel and plug wires. I have not marked off tires because I'm not sure what we're going to do with that just yet. I'll tell you what though, this truck, it's becoming a pain. Yep. That's the way it goes though. When you're trying to get these old things running, actually roadworthy where you can use them after they've been sitting for so long, it's going to be aggravating. Yeah, especially when you're trying to save money and fix the parts instead of just going to buy them. I'll probably save $200, $250 this week by not buying a blower motor, not buying all those switches. Those switches are $50+ a piece. I only had to buy the one. I had it fixed, but then I tore it up putting it back together. But yeah, I've saved $200, $250. That's what you have to do. If you do this often, like I have to do every week, you have to fix what's there. Like the windshield wiper motor, we'll take it apart and hopefully get it running better. Anyways, like I said, there's going to be at least 2 more videos on this old truck. So be looking for that. I hope everyone has a wonderful new year, 26. I'm hoping it brings wonderful things for the channel. Time will tell. So we'll all be looking for that. Anyways, appreciate y'all watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you don't mind, hit that like, comment, subscribe. Share it with your friends. And until next time, go do something. Blur, blur.